What's up, Jason? This is a demo video for you for your pair of Ventress sabers. These are called the Sister Wens. They're by Punk Sabers and distributed by CC Sabers. Okay, so I got these both installed with Proffies. These are very unique. They are a bit of a challenge to install, and there's several moving parts. Okay, you've got, first of all, you've got Carl Chen PCBs in here for your Neopixel connectors. You've got that on both of them. They're both 2-button setups. So your silver switches here and here will be your power buttons, and then you have a black switch right behind that on both of them, and those will be your auxiliary switches. All right. To get to the chassis, you have to take out 3 screws. For the sake of this demo, I left one of them out. There will be a small guy right here, right where that hole is. So you'll need to take that out. They're very tiny. I don't need them for the demo, so I went ahead and left them out to save me some time, but you will want to put those back in. So you'll take that small guy out, and then you'll come over here, and you'll want to take these 2 out as well. All right, so, and those are different sizes, so you'll need, an Allen set. I've got this one I bought off Amazon with a bunch of different bits. But we'll want to take out both of those screws, and they're long boys. Take those out real quick. This demo might be kind of long. Since there's 2, I'm not going to cut it when I'm doing this so that you can see that I'm testing both sabers. All right. If it was just one, I'd edit out the redundancy. But once we get those backed up a little bit like that, we can go ahead and we can take our pommel off. And your pommel might come off, and it will take the speaker pod out with it. So just go ahead and come over here and take the speaker pod out. You will need that out. All right. Your speaker pod is slanted, as you can see, and we'll go over that here in a second as to why. But you have a fully enclosed 22 millimeter Smuggler's Outpost Nano Elite speaker. You have that in both of them. But when those come apart and you look back here, this is your chassis. So if it will focus there, you've got a kill switch over here. You've got a 1.3 millimeter recharge port. Your Proffi board is up here. You've got access to both, your SD card and your micro USB. You wanted the Night Sister font from Kyberphonics, so I went ahead and I purchased that from his site right before this video. I loaded it on both of these sabers, and you're good to go. Now, along with that, I left the stock font package on. They never sound as good as the ones that you buy, and you'll notice like a huge quality difference. But the stock font package is on there in case you want to mess around with that. So we'll cycle through some different fonts. All right. But when we're ready to turn this on, we want to come over here and we want to flip that switch. All right, and you can do that with your finger. So go ahead and flip it up. On both of these, when you flip the kill switch up, it's on, and when you flip it back down, of course, it's off. Now, how do we know it's on? Well, we can hit power. And we can see, we've got power, but obviously we don't have sound. This hilt is curved, obviously. The inside of this hilt is drilled down at an angle, and that's why my speaker pod is angled, if you can see that. So it matches up on the chassis. But what you want to do first is you want to take the speaker pod and you want to snap it into place. All right, the large piece goes up top. You'll kind of notice how everything fits together when you get it in person. So we'll come over here and we'll snap it in place. Oops. To play your soundtrack, it's a long press on the power, and I accidentally did that. So once you have this snapped into place, you can go ahead and give yourself a quick sanity check by hitting the power. We got sound, everything's good, right? And it's staying in there. Now we can come through and we can put our pommel on. All right. Everything's going to be a tight fit, but it will fit. So just take your time, put it on just like that, and then come over here and screw down. All 3 of your screws are in this case. I'm just going to screw 2 of them down because that's all that's needed to make this saber functional. All right. I'll screw these down nice and tight. When you screw everything down, it locks everything in place and it's good to go. A copy of the config file that I used for these sabers is also on both of the SD cards. So if you ever need access or you want to change things up, you can see what I did on that card. All right, but we'll come over here and hit power. Nice smooth swing. Auxiliary back here. Very easy to press. And I gave you twist off. So normally on a curved hilt, a twist off function can be just a little weird, but on this one it works out fine. All right, this one takes, or both of these really, they take 7/8 inch blades. So you'll need 2 7/8 inch Neopixel blades. All right, the same Allen key you use to tighten up these 2 big screws back here, you can use for your blade retention, which is located right here. All right, so when we turn this off, very solid once put together. Blaster bolts is just tapping the auxiliary. But if you want blade lockup, you hold the auxiliary down and hit the saber. You see it right here. Like your soundtrack, like I was saying, to play your soundtracks, a long press on the power button when the saber's off. And it's another long press to turn it off. And then to trade sound fonts, and we'll go into the stock font package now, you just tap auxiliary.
Smooth Jedi. Smooth Gray.
This is a fire blade, so that's kind of cool, right?
Smooth Fuzz.
I'll turn it off, and we'll take the blade out of this guy. You have, I think, about maybe 7 or 8 stock fonts on there, and that's along with the Night Sister font. All right, so that's this guy, and of course when you're done, you're going to want to take this pommel off, flip the kill switch and turn off, and then put everything back together. I am going to do that off camera because I don't need to show you that. I showed you how to open it. All right, but we'll set this one off to the side, and we'll go over this one. So again, we need to take these off. You don't have to take them all the way out of the pommel. They are pretty long. You can leave them in there so you don't lose them, because once you back them out about that much, you know, they're completely off, and you can come over here and take this off. So again, we'll take out our speaker pod. You have the exact same setup in here that you had in the other one. And you can see that's flipped down, so that's in the off position. We'll go ahead and we'll come over here and flip that up. Now it's in the on position, so when we hit power, we get lights, right? So we're good there. And again, we'll come over here and put our speaker pod in. Same exact speaker, same speaker pod. They're identically set up. Snap that in, give us a little bit of a sandy check. We're good. That's something I like to do just to make sure that I have a good connection before I go putting this pommel on and screwing a bunch of screws in. All right. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and slide this on now. It is important that you snap the speaker pod in first, and then you go through and you put the pommel on and lock it down. All right, that's how it's meant to be installed. That's how I designed it. This is the first saber that I've ever had to make a speaker pod for that had an angle on it, and that was the easiest way that I saw how to do it, and to also keep it user-friendly. All right. So now that we've got that all locked in and everything's good to go, we can hit power. Turn it off. One thing you won't hear is the boot sound when you turn this on, obviously, because you don't have a speaker in. But if we change sound fonts,
Smooth Jedi.
if you want to go back in the menu, just hold it upside down and hit auxiliary.
Don't insult me.
That went back to that Ventress sound font. All right. So we'll go ahead and we'll throw a Neopixel blade into this one too. Lock it down. You have plenty of blade depth, so this saber is very solid once it's all put together. Blade lock up. Into the stock fonts, right?
Smooth gray. Smooth fuzz.
We'll go one more because I don't think we went past this one on the other one.
Rogue
I think this is a blue fire blade. Yeah. Just like that. So everything's working on this guy too. I'll go ahead and I'll disassemble these and I'll turn the kill keys off and get them all put back together off camera. But that's basically your set of Sister Wens. Let me know if you got any questions and I'll try to get these out in the mail to you by tomorrow. All right. Thanks, man.